This is an Australian Living Labs Innovation Network presentation. Our mission is to promote Living Labs in Australia, develop the practitioner base, and foster collaboration opportunities with Living Labs everywhere. Today we're talking with Professor Lars Coenen, who's at the University of Melbourne and is also the inaugural City of Melbourne Chair of Resilient Cities, and with Professor Annika Kronsel, who is visiting from Lund University and is a political scientist. We'll be discussing their project Governance of Urban Sustainability Transitions, which investigated 50 urban living labs in Europe.
Users play in the living lab. So I was wondering if you could expand a little bit more on that.
Yeah, sure. So I think what is novel with the living labs is indeed sort of the acknowledgement and an more active role of users, and I think this is significant because the kind of innovations I'm interested in are the more sort of disruptive innovations which are still sort of quite immature. They're not sort of finished yet in terms of their development. They're not sort of well embedded yet into society. And here the living lab approach is really useful to learn from interactions with users and the feedback that you can get from them, and it sort of acknowledges also that innovation is really this learning process. It's not just sort of here we've got something and let's just sort of deploy it and roll it out on the market. No, while you do that you'll actually learn things about the system, about the technology, about the product or service, which is going to sort of shape it, and it's going to sort of change it and evolve it. It's a sort of evolutionary perspective on innovation, sort of an evolutionary learning process, which I think is really sort of characteristic and the defining sort of feature of living labs. And in that process of taking a immature innovation into practice, users and also sort of producers and all the sort of stakeholders involved around it discover sort of perhaps new elements of the innovation. So to give you an example, sort of early experiments with electric vehicles, which were primarily sort of framed as this is a good low carbon alternative transport technology. By early on sort of trialing out with electric vehicles, producers found out that users actually very much enjoyed also the great acceleration of electric vehicles, and really started to sort of see that some users couldn't really be bothered so much about the emission reductions that electric vehicles created. No, they just thought it was a really cool, great driving car. So that sort of that was a sort of an insight that evolved over time by taking that technology early on into use, getting that feedback from users. And I think there's a lot there we need to sort of learn more about these co-benefits for a lot of climate-related innovations.